power failure. Now, northern and eastern power grids today suffered problems again, affecting power supply in several states in these regions. Delhi Metro and Railway Services, the worst affected because of the power outages in the national capital and Kolkata. Power Ministry sources confirmed the problem in the grid and said that the efforts are on to rectify the snags. The problems occurred at around 1 p.m. affecting supply in north, eastern and northeastern regions. The collapse of the northern grid yesterday triggered several and severe power cuts in the national capital, Haryana, Punjab, J&K, that's Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Uttar Pradesh, Rajasthan and Chandigarh into darkness. The power supply was restored after several hours.
Half of the country has been without power. At about 1 o'clock, there was a blackout in 20 states across the northeastern and northeastern part of the country. More than 60 crore people were affected and 20 states. Train services severely impacted in 6 railway zones. At least 300 trains came to a halt. Delhi's metro services were also affected. Initially, they were closed down, but subsequently, they have resumed service. Also, Delhi-Mathura railway route has been partially restored. Power has also been restored to some hospitals, but most are still running on backup. The government says the northeastern and northeastern grids collapsed because states were overdrawing from the grids. Why did these grids trip? Well, the optimal transmission frequency for a grid is 48 megahertz. Transmission on the northern grid dropped to 47.69 megahertz. Transmission on the eastern grid dropped to 47.5 megahertz. It is suspected that once again states had overdrawn from those grids.
And I'm using non-Bodo just as a shorthand. I told all the sections, please learn to live together. You have to learn to live together, and I'm using non-Bodo just as a shorthand. I told all the sections, please learn to live together. You have to learn to live together.
Let's get the very latest from our reporter Shubhajit Sengupta at a metro station here in Delhi. We also have Priyanka Gupta reporting from the Howrah station. But Shubhajit, to you first. Earlier today, when the northern grid...
Delhi Metro services, very much the lifeline of the national capital. Lakhs of commuters every day use Delhi Metro services. These have been very, very badly hit. But at the moment, desperate efforts are being made to ensure that the northern grid is back online once again. But not just the north of the country, east of the country. The eastern grid also down. Has that collapse been triggered by the northern grid? That's what a lot of experts are now saying. And then the northeastern grid also down. But it's unclear now whether the failure of the northeastern grid is as a result of the failure of the other two grids, whether it was a cascading system of failures which has happened. One way or the other, 19 states in the country, from Tripura in the east to Rajasthan in the west, without power in what is perhaps the greatest ever power crisis that the country has ever faced.
बड़े कदम उठा सकते हैं। मुझे जिस तरीके से भारत सरकार इसको गंभीरता से ले रही है, मुझे पूरी आशा है कि जल्दी इसका जो कोई ना कोई रास्ता निकलेगा कि वो स्टेट जो ओवरड्रॉ करते हैं या ग्रिड के डिसिप्लिन को नहीं मानते हैं।
देखिए, हम भी इस पॉइंट पर तीनों ग्रिड कोलैप्स किए हैं। एक चिंता का विषय है, पहली मर्तबा ऐसा हुआ है। तो आपको नहीं लगता कि जो अंडर ड्रॉन स्टेट्स हैं, अब उनको एकजुट होकर सामने आना होगा?
देखिए, वो स्टेट्स जिन्होंने अपनी जनरेशन के लिए कुछ नहीं किया है, उनको बड़ी गंभीरता से सोचना होगा कि अपनी स्टेट्स के अंदर जनरेशन को कैसे बढ़ाया जाए। नहीं तो आने वाले वक्त में ये संकट इसी तरीके से बरकरार रहेगा। और इस बात को बार बार अभी पीछे शिंदे साहब ने जो मीटिंग बुलाई थी पावर मिनिस्टर्स की दिल्ली पूरे हिंदुस्तान के, उसमें इस बात पे बहुत ज्यादा जोर दिया गया था कि कैपेसिटी एडिशन होना चाहिए और रियलिस्टिक जो उसका है, क्योंकि बहुत सारे राज्य फ्री बिजली बांटते हैं या बिजली के रेट नहीं बढ़ाते, जिसकी वजह से सेक्टर जो है वो लॉसेस में चला जाता है और जो उसकी जो और परेशानियां वो और बढ़ जाती हैं। तो उसको रियलिस्ट आज फ्यूल कॉस्ट बढ़ गया है, कोल प्राइसेस बढ़ गई है, गैस की अवेलेबिलिटी दिक्कत है, हाइडल के अंदर नए प्रोजेक्ट्स नहीं आ रहे हैं। तो मैं समझता हूं कि ये हम सब के लिए एक सबक भी है कि आगे आने वाले दौर में जिस तेजी से दिल्ली में या और राज्यों में बिजली की डिमांड बढ़ रही है, अब दिल्ली में ही आप देखें इस बार जो है 5,650 मेगावाट के आसपास बिजली हम लोगों ने सप्लाई की, जबकि पिछले साल जो थी वो 4500 मेगावाट 4900 मेगावाट के आसपास थी। तो जिस तेजी से उपभोक्ता बढ़ रहे हैं, न सिर्फ बिजली के नए प्लांट लगाने की आवश्यकता है, बल्कि जो ऑल्टरनेटिव सोर्स ऑफ एनर्जी है, सोलर एनर्जी है और दूसरी विंड एनर्जी है, इसका बड़े पैमाने पे प्रयोग अब होना चाहिए। और मैं समझता हूं कि सोलर का तो बहुत ज्यादा स्कोप है।
I have been informed that northern and eastern both the grids have failed, and at the moment the reason is by overdriving the power by many states. I have put in all my people at the job. The power grid chairman is working. Now we are getting power from the western region and some other places, and put forward AC to our NTPC units to give power after some time. And also we have instructed, and already AC action has been taken on BBMB power project of Bhakra Nangal that has been started, and from hydel power now we are giving power to Punjab. So alternative arrangements have been made, but still we have to wait for some time. It will take hour and half to get it at the normalcy.
Thing is that around 1 p.m. we had a grid disturbance, and northern region, eastern region and northeastern region there was a severe disturbance, and except few pockets like Kolkata, Delhi, some areas near Narora survived. Rest of the things became dark, and immediately after that, because we had the similar failure yesterday, that was only limited to northern region.
At the same time, what has happened in Agra yesterday, the whole machinery has failed to locate the exact fault, and still you are putting load on it again without correcting the basic fault, so you suffer heavily on the second day. And even if you don't repair the main fault today, the country will suffer tomorrow with much larger dose. And this is what is happening in the power sector. This is utter failure of the this is manifestation of the mismanagement, and it's a management failure and the policy failure which has put people in dark, and for last 2 days the country is suffering. This is unheard of, unparalleled.